The moment is now. Are you ready?
Sometimes the system needs a little nudge in order to get the setup through. In this case, you can see that this space right here, looking more like a little alley, disconnects these four from the others, and that would make it an illegal setup. It has to be contiguous. There must be connections throughout for all of the pieces. So let's try to connect them. And that looks like it's a good connection. Whether or not the computer accepts it is another story. Well, let's just look at everything to see if it's a good setup for me. And I'd rather have my sea vessels close to coastal waters. This one is good too. One marine way up here, the other down here. I don't like that. Let's get this over here. That looks pretty good. Now this right here, although it is a legal setup, the computer might not see it as one. Okay, we're all set. Alright, my first move is going to be to, well, it really depends on what the computer does, but I would like my first move to push this sub right onto the Polder Valley so that I can get it into the Eastern Sea. If he uses his marine to capture my submarine, then I'll use my marine to capture his marine. Alright, now that my submarine is in the Eastern Sea, I can use it as a bridge from this side to this side with my executive, or maybe even some other pieces like the nuke or the child or some other pieces. But now my focus is on trying to get the Coast Guard in and to protect the coastal area of the south side. This is the south side. All of over here is the south side. This is the west side, east side, north side. Interesting move. And the reason why it's interesting is because if I pull my marine within range of my submarine, if I board, then it's highly likely that if he took this spot over here, this marine would be almost trapped. But I'm not that interested in that right now. I'm more interested in trying to get this Coast Guard into play. Alright, so now take a look at this. He's got one marine almost to the edge of the far end of the west side, and another marine at the far end of the east side, which leaves a lot to just go right up the middle. He's got the nuke here, but he hasn't captured, or should I say, I haven't captured any of his military as of yet, so he's not going to be able to use that nuke. between these three pieces here, that's basically his only power covering this reserve. So I'm just going to keep an eye on trying to get up the middle if he continues to have his Marines far out on the edges of the board. Now I'm going to try to move my uh, Army and Vice President in this area towards the expanse because I'm thinking that I might be able to trap his Marine in the expanse area if he doesn't bring some reinforcements like one of these two pieces in this area to cover. That helicopter is not going to provide adequate coverage for advancement into that area, into the expanse area. His move to come into the southern part of the eastern corridor wasn't too bright, but if he wants to try it, that's fine with me. Between my Coast Guard, it can cover all of this area here. Right now, it can cover 1, 2, and 3. These three boxes it can cover. There you go. That makes a little bit more sense. Now, by me doing this, I'm actually threatening his Marine. I'm covering my president with my Marine and threatening his Marine by using my submarine as a bridge through or over the Eastern Sea. So I'm going from here all the way over here. And I'll take that sacrifice. Well, it wouldn't even be a sacrifice. He's going to have to run because his vice president isn't close enough and his army isn't close enough and his jet can't do anything from there and his helicopter can't do anything from there. So that's a freebie. Now when his Coast Guard, with his Coast Guard over here, he's got two spaces, 1, 2, or 1, 2. So that's nothing to have a great fear about. Wow, it's an interesting move. I think that's a very bad move. Very bad move. And here's why I feel that way. In the corner, especially in the expanse corner, the western corner, you're almost away from the game. Everything is going on right here. Not much is happening on the eastern side, but almost nothing is happening over here. So to be over here is almost a waste of a move. But to be far away from coverage, 1, 2, 3. He's not even covering the helicopter. If I use my Marine, 1, 2, 3, to capture his helicopter, then his Marine can't capture me. But his jet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, can capture. So my thought is that the computer has pulled his Marine way to this corner to try to bait me to take his helicopter so that he can use his jet to do a flyover to take my Marine. However, I I can use my president to take his jet, allow his army to take my president, and my vice president will ascend to the presidency, and I can still end up taking the helicopter and putting a threat now on his president and Coast Guard. His nuke still, even though I have three of his military, his nuke is active, but he's not going to activate the nuke because he's too close to the flag. He's got to get at least one more space away from the flag to be able to activate it. Now, I'm not going to take his president because his army is too close. It's covered. But I am going to take the Coast Guard. He's got no more birds, so I don't have to worry about anything flying over. The Coast Guard was the only thing that the mover can push onto the coastal waters to take one of my pieces on coastal waters, so I don't have to worry about that. Now at this point, I can, with this opening here, I can start to use my president and army to trap this marine, or at least to prevent it from coming down. Wow. Too many temptations. Now at this point, when the army was here, it was covering the president. With the army here, it no longer covers the president, and the marine is still out of range. So I'm very much tempted to take the president right now, but I think what I'd rather do is to move the president over here so that I can again try to start moving between the army and the president, moving them in over here so that I can cut off this marine from going this way or this way. Alrighty, now this vice president can only move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in going here with my marine, I'm able to cover all 4 of those spaces. 1, 2, 3. It can move 4, but it has to go in a straight line. So it can only go this way, 3, and this way, 4. So right now, if I'm able to get onto my submarine, I'm covering the whole range of where it can travel. Effectively, I've trapped this vice president. And since this president can only go straight, it can't even cover. So that's a gone piece. That's a piece to be captured shortly. Now with the president over here, the army is able to cover the president, and now with the president over here, they are able to cover each other in addition to the reserve. So that's a good move. Okay, I was anticipating some activity from that marine, although it was very slow in coming. My president is covering my army. My army is covering these 2 flanking pieces, and at the same time posing a threat onto the marine. The marine, if it goes here or here, my other marine is covering it. Now I can come, I'm going to use this Marine as coverage, and one, two, three, and go here, so that I can also cover these outside parts. And now the Army is threatening the Marine, and the President is threatening the Marine. And if I'm not mistaken, I think one, two, three, one, two, three. I think the Marine is trapped. Yes. Alright, so with that, now captured his Marine. Now even if I do a trade-off one for the other, obviously at the end of whatever the trade-off is, I'll still be up whatever the remaining pieces are. Look at that, he took one for me. He abandoned his media, and so it was forfeited. Now with my president aiming towards his president, all he has to do is move the child. I will be able to capture his president. Alright. That was the move that I was looking out for. I am not likely to try to fight through that. I am just going to back up and let the child do the work. Alright, I'm moving my Marine over here because I want to try to cover this space so that when I use my child to take the nuke, if he should use his president to take the child, which he likely won't do but might do, then I'll use my Marine to take the president. And at this point, at this space right here, it's too far from the Army. Now with the Army there, it's close enough so that there is a lot of coverage right there. Well, let's see if I could I still have coverage of this box here with the president and the Marine. So after this is taken, if it chooses to do that, then I'm just going to take this piece, and then the president will be again out of range of the Army, and so I'll just advance in that way. Alright, so it didn't choose to take that particular piece. That's good. If I use my president to take the mover now, it's directly in front of, or should I say, it's covered by the president over here, so that would be a piece that a move that I won't do. The president can take the diplomat, and so that move I would do, and if need be, I'll provide some coverage with my Marine to come down here or around here, close enough to cover this box and put a threat on the Army. Alright, so I expected it to move the reserve, not reserve, I'm sorry. I expected the computer to move the mover. It didn't do it. So now I can just take this. Now it is likely that the president, his president, will move down here. At least that's what I would do. Or at least have the Army come over here and cover both pieces. Because if the president moves over here, then this space would be open. The army would be open or uncovered. So now the army is covering both pieces. But of course, nothing is covering the army. So all I have to do is just go right here. Well, that would be too close. That would be in the path of, if I go here, then I can get either the army or the president. Now, if I take the army, it either has to cover and take my marine, and if so, then I take his reserve. If he doesn't take my marine, then I take his president, and then take the reserve and the flag. Sea vessels can't move. Okay. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.